generally I was very, very pleased. Very, very pleased. So. And I'm, of course, no surprise, behind the 8 ball in sleep. Thank you. And I'm not going to be able to linger here too long because I have to go help set up for Low Ladies live show, which is half an hour and nothing set up. So I'm just popping in to say hi.
Will Crew for Food is in there.
Huh?
Will Crew for Food. There's a guy whose name is Will Crew for Food. Not really.
I see that as a practical application.
Is everybody freaked out because I freaked the band out by fussing at them last time?
No.
They're not?
No. You know what I was worried about the most, actually?
What?
Just the previous night, you were telling me about how, you have to really avoid stress and all that. There.
Right.
And
You thought I was going to have a heart attack?
yeah.
No, I don't think I
No,
was quite into heart attack territory yet.
Okay. You kill over on the soundboard, and that's, bad. So I was kind of worried about you a little bit, but
No, I don't think so.
that's fine.
Well, no. See what we're dealing with here
Mm-hmm.
is it's a complex situation. Is post-traumatic stress disorder.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons that my TV show is a tea party.
Mm-hmm.
See, because that's such a silly thing that hopefully I can't get very stressed over. We're supposed to have civil conversation over a cup of tea.
And it usually works like that.
Right. See, and that is low stress.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why it's this way. But what happens is post-traumatic stress disorder actually causes a chemical imbalance, which I didn't know this. So controlling it is very difficult because you're actually dealing with a chemical imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens to me, and probably other people too, is when I start getting excited about something, whether it's like a deadline, and they hit me with this deadline thing, like the keyboard player has to be out of here at 2, which was like I was given an absolutely impossible deadline.
Of course not.
Right?
Well, you know what?
Well, you see but these chemicals start to generate when and it snowballs, and it gets out of hand, and I get out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? And that's one of the reasons I'm not working really very much in regular life out there, because I can't record for the Rolling Stones anymore, because I'll get mad and I'll cuss Mick Jagger out. They'll push my button. I'll whiz up in a minute.
And you don't cuss Mick Jagger out.
You see what I'm saying?
Maybe Keith Richards, but not Mick Jagger.
And some of the sessions that I have done, some of the latter sessions I have done, have not gone very well, and I have a hard time keeping things. I probably needed to be a little easier with those guys. I didn't dislike them. I was just trying to get the sound check done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I've seen plenty of bands get sound checked over the past year. I've sound checked some. I've watched you sound check some. I've watched other people sound check some, kind of, just to observe and everything like that. And I've seen most bands be more together on the sound check than last week.
Yeah, it was a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And the sound.
Well, in a situation like that,
if the band had been here a half hour earlier
and hadn't
and had their technical end together a little bit better,
or for that matter, just hadn't called ahead of time, said, "Oh, we've got to be done in 90 minutes," which is impossible, and then been late, but turns out it was okay when they got here anyway.
Right, but at various things like that, I believe they would have wound up sounding better, which is actually the goal. Is to make it sound as good as it.
Well, in a situation like that, when you start feeling it, and you want to express something to them, and you feel yourself getting wound up, step back for a second and, if I'm not there, come get me, find me, or something like that, and, shove me at them to talk to them or something like that.
But it is so much easier just to run in there with a machine gun and cut them down.
We don't have any machine guns lying around here, though.
Oh, you don't know where they keep the machine guns?
No, I have not seen that clause.
I'm just joking. Last night we had a slightly explosive incident, and there was a really large sword on hand. You didn't see the graduate. Did you see the show last night?
No,
A girl danced with a sword on her head, like a curved sword that hung like that on her head. We had 3 belly dancers that were they were good. They were really good. It was a beautiful, beautiful show. It really was.
This sounds like a story. I hear belly dancers and girls dancing with swords on their heads. I want to get the detailed version of this story.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think we've got time right now because
you have to go.
Yeah, Glow Lady. I'm gonna stick my head in there. She's got somebody to help her today, but you see what time it is, and you know what time she's got to go live. So
as soon as I go off, yeah. If you see anybody out there, I'm telling everybody, send them in. We got some ginseng mixed with the tea there, and we have some sassafras.
I'm so taking some of this with me.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm taking
Now that's the ginseng. But smell the sassafras.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's in that one though, but you already got the ginseng, so you'll do with either, I'm sure. Oh,
and I'm gonna bribe you on live TV.
You just came by to bribe me with the gas money.
Well, I'm popping in for a minute and all that.
Thank you.
I stuck. Well, there's nobody in here, so obviously I have to sit down for a minute.
What are you drinking there?
This is a coffee flavored energy drink, which I've already had like 3/4 of it, which is like why I'm. I haven't been even awake for an hour since my afternoon nap yet, and I woke up tired this morning.
I hate that. Yeah.
Long day at work here, and got things to do, and I managed to have tickets to the Rebels show tonight, so day's not done.
Well, slam both of those back. You should be hallucinating within the hour. Maybe by time for showtime on the Glow Lady.
Okay, I will bring the cup back.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry to...
Tell the Glow Lady, hey.
I will.
Okay. You want to do another circle or two?
Okay.
Very good.
Thank
you. All right. I wonder if Jonathan's back yet. I bet he's not. Where is Jonathan? Listen to this. It's just so. This stuff is just so fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I listen to this too much. I listen to this too much, over and over and over. It's the same thing. But when I find one that I like, I just let it. I overuse it. I cannot help it. I like it. And the more I listen to it, when they're really, really good, the more you listen to them, the more you like them. And the more you like them, the more you listen to them. Oh my. We have a new monitor I have installed here. You see, you can't really see much of that, but maybe I might could zoom it in on that. That's not too far off the middle of the screen. I'm gonna zoom it in and see how much of it you can see. There it is. Okay, let's see if I put that up there. You see? There it is. The new monitor. See? It just whirls and tilts and all mad scientist stuff like that. That's more mad scientist, isn't it? I don't know. I look fairly washed out. I wonder if I cut the light back to half power. If that would be about. No, doesn't that look better? Why, yes. Better. There we go. So for some reason, it seems like the audio exposure has been turned off or something. So that when I change the lights, it changes. Makes it too bright, doesn't it? What do you think? Let's see now. That. I don't know. Okay. Well, we don't have much more time. And you may notice that after having been called on putting too many patterns and stuff, too much excessive use of special effects. Excessive use of special effects. I don't know. Would you rather it be all black or? And then there's also this, if it's not one thing, it's another, isn't it now? We can cover blue with blue. Huh. And then red. I never really liked the red or that one. That's weird. I don't think so. Oh, I thought about doing that the other day. I thought white would be nice. Oh, no, how about we just let it do like that? Now that's weird, huh? How about just lightly? Ah, there. How's that? That's crazy looking, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. There's some crazy racket going on. That could be disturbing. Well, we do have some awfully good tea. So those of you who are missing the really good tea, well, guess what? You're missing the really good tea. Let's see. That's weird. That's weird. I hear people talking in the other room. Dare I think that they're talking in response to me pushing those buttons? Probably not. Listen to this. Ah, well. I hear Jonathan's voice. Now, what was I going to... I wonder if I can coax Jonathan in here. Hello? Is the sound turned up in the lobby? Hello? Jonathan, are you out there? No. They don't have the sound turned up in the lobby. Oh well. Well, now it's really going to be boring, isn't it? Okay. Let me see. I've heard some jokes lately. What are they? I don't know if I don't think I can tell those jokes. Oh well. Boy, I'm at a loss sometimes by myself. But we were talking about steam power. And when it is relatively doable to create a vehicle that can run off of gas, oil, vegetable oil, alcohol, wax, paper, sticks, coal, chunks of wood and leaves, plastic cups and other polluting devices, that some of which can be picked up along the side of the highway should you run out of fuel, and fit into a little firebox that runs a monotube steam generator to run a little steam-driven engine, which is fairly efficient. It's an external combustion, but if it's insulated very well to keep the heat in, and if it's that heat is converted directly into steam, which is driven directly into the piston, and the use of a transmission is removed because the torque curve on steam is correct, it turns out to be relatively efficient. But the wide variety of fuels that it can run off of make it quite versatile. And I think it should be looked into. That might not be for everybody. Everybody might not want to pick sticks up along the side of the road. And if everybody did, the sticks would soon be all gone from along the side of the road. And that would probably, build a whole nother class of people who would go out into the woods and collect sticks and bring them to the side of the road and sell them. They would be the stick people. And the stick people would pick up your sticks and sell them along the side of the road to the travelers, who would be the travelers. And I'm really going to have to get Casey Waters to help me write a story that include the stick people and the travelers. And did anybody see the movie Idaho Connection? That's an interesting movie. In a way, you could look at it. There are some similarities between that and The Matrix, conceptually. Both being futuristic, of course, but there's more. And I don't know. I'm running out of. I have no guests for tea, but we had some good guests. Let me see if I don't think they have the audio turned up out in the lobby, so I'm not able to coax any people here in the building in without actually physically going out there. I'm going to turn this is good stuff. There, I got one finally. It's about time. Did you have the volume turned down? Did you turn it up or not?
I was going to let you sweat a little bit, though.
You were hearing me beg. Oh, Jonathan, please come to my tea party.
Well, you didn't call me by name. So.
I did.
Oh, really?
But you were talking to Pat.
I was. So who'd you have on today?
Yeah.
I saw Larry.
You saw Larry?
Yeah, Larry and, what's that guy's name? Carl?
I think so.
The ham radio operator. Did you guys talk about that?
We talked about steam trains.
Okay. That's a little different.
Yeah, we did. It was good. Okay. Now, let's see. Since you operate as the mail service,
True.
Could I get you to?
Are you gonna have me give something to another member?
I don't know. What are your chances? What are the chances?
The postman. Well, it depends who the member is and how long the.
It does. It depends on who the member is and all. But I thought the chances would be better with you for Tim Peck.
Okay.
I could help that situation by emailing him and telling him that I have left something with you for him.
And this is not something he left here. It's something personal exchange between the two of you.
Is there an extra charge for that?
Of course.
Oh no, he left this here. Just trying to get his property back to him. No, it's a.
I know what it is.
You do know what you know what that is, don't you? Yeah, and actually, did I give you one?
I have not received one.
Well,
and I would listen to it, and in fact, I would play it on my radio station.
Why don't you just take that one, and that one can be yours, and we can get back to Tim Peck's at a later date.
Because he'll be in Thursday.
Okay.
Or Wednesday. What day is it? Today's Friday?
It is. I know. I didn't know either. I wore the Mount Dungeon show because I thought the party was tonight.
I was wondering why I didn't see you last night.
It was last night. Because
it was a good show. The whole band was there too.
I tell people I have no memory, and unless someone like tells me what. Oh yeah. Okay, this one has ginseng in it, and that one has sassafras. So you want to smell the sassafras root?
That's the MDA, right? Potent.
Well, no, it's not MDA. It's sassafras.
Okay.
It's but.
Well, I thought you were saying something about.
It converts. If you take the oil of sassafras and freeze it, the first thing that freezes out is 70% of the oil of sassafras is saffrol, and that crystallizes out first. And if you take the saffrol and run it through exactly the same process as creates Dutch chocolate, it creates MDA.
Wow.
Okay. Now, if the second thing that freezes out, the second oil that freezes out, if you run that through the same process, and this is why you want to separate the two, is it turns into trimethoxyamphetamine, or TMA, the second isomer of TMA, which is synergistic to MDA, which makes what we call a UC, which is such an ungodly hallucinogen that is just not suitable.
Make it stop, right?
Yeah.
That's of the make it stop category.
If you're
Please
lucky.
God, make it stop.
Well.
Or are you even comprehending language and the symbols that we understand at that point?
Right. I don't even know.
What's that one movie?
It's just too far.
It's not Liam Neeson. It's that other guy always. William Hurt.
Okay,
and it's about
movie people.
Oh well, the movie's about this guy who's like a scientist and he's working at a university.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes across a isolation tank.
Oh yeah. Altered States.
Yeah, that movie is wicked, man.
Good movie. Yeah, and particularly the scenes at the end where they've done all the chemical film transformations and stuff like that. That was done before digital took over everything.
Right. So that was real creativity because you got to be real with it on the film.
And then they do a great job of it.
Yeah, totally.
So, and
that movie was wild. Just conceptually, the philosophy and what happened in that movie. The whole regression.
Mm-hmm. That was a good movie. Yeah, a lot of people like that movie. What was it?
It was so bizarre, man. It was really. I remember watching it, being like,
"Oh, I was going to tell you."
I watched it on like a dare or something because usually a movie like that, 10 minutes into it, I'm like turning it off,
Well, I was going to tell you the show last night. The show last night that we did, the graduation show, looked so much better because we white balanced the cameras, which I never do. I'm going to white balance the cameras from now on. But I had never.
Speaking of which,
go ahead.
No, you're fine. I want to hear what you're going to say first.
When I went through studio certification, those little panels over there, we were just told don't touch those or you get your fingers cut off. So I don't touch those. Have you never ever noticed that
I've never seen you touch those.
I'm very hesitant to touch those because I'm told I'm not allowed to touch those. See what I mean? So, but I think that the white balancing is a real good idea, but it's hard to do it without touching those. So I have always left that. I've just let it be. It's one of those quandaries I don't know how to deal with, so I just let it be, and I come out with orange people and stuff.
Orange people, blue people.
When you and I are in there and we're specifically working on that, as you know, on occasion, I have touched those panels. You have seen me touch those panels, and with very good results.
Right.
But for the most part, I'm not familiar with them because I've been told to keep my hands off of them. Because who taught me studio certification, and they told me they would cut my fingers off.
And probably wanted to use your fingers at a later date.
To get my fingerprints and blame other things on me.
Right. It was something funny. I was watching. I was hanging out with a friend, and I was leafing through my DVD book, like finding something interesting to watch. Watched everything in there like 100 times, and I came across the Winter Holiday Loop. If you remember that from last year.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if I ever watched it, but maybe. Go ahead.
It was really interesting to watch again. And it just really got me like thinking, how long I've been here. It's like a year, and it's getting ready to be Christmas again. Just thinking about how much this place has changed, And then of course, watching after that, I came across my other favorite disc, and that is the Mad Scientist Tea Party I want to know the date of it, but it's the David Connor Jones versus Don Yelton. And honestly, I got to the part where they came on, and I turned it off. But I watched the whole show from beginning to when Don Yelton
till the
comes
fight
and
starts.
I was like, okay, that's enough.
Well, maybe I should give you a couple more. Oh, this is so good.
No, but I was hanging out with a friend, and they were like, man, I want a copy of every one of them. Like, does he archive them? I'm like, well, I think so. I think he's got, I'd say, almost all of them.
I have a holder, it's like a book,
Right.
and it's got pages, and they stick in there. It holds 80. And I have at least 70 in there. That's a lot of tea parties. And they are 2 and 3 hours each.
Right.
How many hours of tea party is that?
We figured it was 5 hours a week. No, it was
It's 5 hours a week, but I used to do 3 a week.
Yeah, I know.
But it's
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. So there's a few
You've
of those.
You've done easily over 100 hours, right?
Oh wait.
I mean, not 100.
Hundreds.
Right, it was 5 a week, so 25, and then 7 months. We already did the math on this one time, didn't we?
I don't know.
It was like 160 some hours. It was something like just wow. You give an old Rapid Ralph a run for his money there. As far as hours of programming on the air.
Right.
I think he's annihilating everybody. But when you have your own media production company and you're retired Vietnam vet, I guess you have the time, the facilities, and
this is just
gumption to go for it.
I'm just hearing this is fantastic music in the background.
Well, but I was watching. It was cool to watch. I had a little nostalgic evening last night, I guess. Watched the holiday loop thing, and then watched the that episode of the Tea Party, and it was like it still was when the blue curtain was pinned up, and none of this stuff was here. It was like the audio mixer sitting on top of that table in the corner, and your hair was all wild and dangly, and Davine was in there, and it was really funny because that was the day after the wireless microphone incident. And I was dying. I was just watching it. I was like, you look back on those small little things, and it's like
the old days of live television
right
are often the best.
Right.
That even goes back to network times and stuff like that. The old days of live television stuff went on that would never happen now.
The safeguards aren't there. They'll pull the plug now. And they got that title card ready to go.
Right. And that's a lot more fun.
Right.
It just adds an element of reality to it that makes it good.
But it was just really funny to sit there and watch it because I remember that day specifically, and I remember walking by the hallway and I'm like, oh God, he's gonna talk about it. He's gonna talk about it. And you were telling David, and you were like, now me, I got fussed with yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
You're like, now me, normally, I view you as an adult. And I told you when you put that microphone on, as an adult, that, if you go to the bathroom, we're going to be able to hear you. So be aware when you're walking around with that mic on, you're mic'd.
All right.
And you're like, and I thought nothing else of it. After that, I figure, hey, if she's walking around, she knows what she's doing. And it was hilarious because you totally outed Jen you were like, she was cussing like a sailor. And Davey was like,
no.
Yes, you did. I got the disc. And Davey was like, no, she wasn't not like a sailor. There was no cussing at all because everybody was kind of like, well, they got away with it till they bring it up again. Like,